and they would come up with the next version, you're actually maybe wasting your money. The Cimatron Group is a company that exists already, 29 years now. It is ranked today as the 7th largest group among CAD/CAM vendors in the world, according to SIM data, which is the most famous analyzer today in the market. We have 2 headquarters. In this headquarter, they make the product which is called Cimatron E. In this headquarter in California, we make the GipsCam product. It is a NASDAQ traded company, very transparent. If you go on the website, you can find information. If you go on the NASDAQ website, you can see what is the company, who is behind. Everything is very transparent. There are no secrets there. There are almost 300 employees, more than 100 in this building, developing the one software, more than 100 in this building. And then there are another almost 100 people around the world supporting and selling. The Cimatron E product is a solution mainly for tooling. Molds, plastic molds, and press tool dies, mainly. And the focus is about the complete solution. When I say complete solution, I'm talking about a solution for a mold maker or a die maker. Give you an example of, let's say, from dies. We're working with today with all the tier 1 suppliers of Samsung, for example, in Korea. All of them using the Cimatron. They shifted from 2D to 3D. When it comes to molds, I think already for about 10 years now, everybody knows that 3D is the right solution. The 2D start to vanish. When it comes to press tool and dies, it happens now. And what is the reason? The reason is very simple. You're actually making a draft, 2D draft, and the designer is sitting there looking at the draft, and he's trying to imagine a 3D module. Just imagine this very complex mold or die tool with hundreds of parts, injection pipes, cooling pipes, lifters, springs. It's very, very complex. And the designer is looking at the 2D draft, trying to imagine the 3D. But unfortunately, the human brain is not strong enough to make a complete image in the brain. And you make mistakes. And the mistake costs money. The idea with 3D is to rotate it and to look on the screen and to see a complete view of what you have. And by that, to minimize the amount of iterations, of trials and errors. From average in the industry, average about 6, 7 per project, to something like 2 or 3. And this is what happens with these kind of projects. And when I'm coming to these companies in Japan, in Korea, in South America, and I'm asking them, what did you gain? It's actually 2 things. A trial and error. A trial like that could take sometimes 2-3 days, sometimes a week. It depends on the size of the project. It depends on the complexity of the project. It costs money. It's very expensive because during that week, a lot of people are involved. Just imagine the size of the steel that you need to work. And when we try to evaluate how much money they save per project by reducing the trial and error, the answer is, of course, depends on the size of the product that you make, the complexity of the product. But anyway, it's anything between $6,000–7,000 to $70,000. Samsung is making LCDs. You know, these are the #1 in the world suppliers for LCDs. Today they are responsible for 55% of the LCDs in the world. And we make projects sometimes, you know, we make this huge back cover for the LCD, which is pressed with, actually each LCD has the plastic part and the metal part. 50, 52, 54 inches, it's a huge tool. And on this kind of product, they save like $70,000. When you make a smaller one, sometimes they say the average is like $20,000–25,000, only by reducing trial and error. So this is, you become special. And when you make the design, you transfer the design directly into the CAM department. You transfer the solid directly. You don't have this data interface problem. You don't suffer from losing information. It goes directly there to another floor and you machine it. The GIPSCAM is one of the best, one of the leaders in the world for making complete CAM solution for production, for manufacturing, discrete component manufacturing, like you can see here outside. If it's impellers or any kind of medical equipment, or you name it, when it goes to turn, mill turn, and NPM. This is one of the very rare products in the world that has a complete synchronization manager to run multi-turret, multi-spindle operations. So it goes from very, very simple production of prismatic tools of 2.5 axis, very easy, very nice graphical way. It was actually at the beginning, this software was running on the Apple, on the first Macintosh. It was the first software which had a graphical user interface. It was always about graphical user interface. And goes all the way to full MTM machining. Tombstone solutions, you name it, it's all there. So for discrete manufacturing of parts, it has a very, very good reputation in US, especially in the US and also Europe. Cimatron and Gibbs merged in 2008. From product point of view, it was a fantastic deal for us because, as you can see, these are complementary products to each other. There's no competition between the products. But also from marketing, it was a very good challenge for us because Cimatron was never been very strong in the USA from historical reasons, marketing reasons. And GIPSCAM was never had any very good base in Asia Pacific. This is the reason why maybe you are not very familiar with GIPSCAM. But if you go, you open the YouTube, you open anything, you'll find out that GIPSCAM is one of the leading and very, very popular machining solutions in the world, because it's very easy to use, it's very friendly, and it has a solution from all the way. So it means you're today a casual company, you want to become an expert, you must have the very high end. And it's very easy to upgrade learning from the very basic to the very high end, because it's the same product. We're working around the world for many years. We have, as I mentioned, we have subsidiaries. We have, I think it's 6 or 7 subsidiaries around the world. 7 subsidiaries around the world, and almost in every industrial country in the world, we have presence. We have more than 40,000 installations around the world, working and supporting there. So before I finish, just coming to my mind, let me give you one other example. I just talked to one of your colleagues here about that. How to work with a company that has special requirements to become special. We recently completed a deal with a very large mold maker in China. It's one of the biggest mold makers in the world. They are a company of $1 billion, more than $1 billion in sales, mold maker. They make molds for laptops, covers. They make 100 molds per month. It's an impressive number for every mold maker. They had a very, very robust and developed process already. They are actually making the molds within 25 days, which is impressive by any criteria. But they wanted to do it better. And we came there and we started to understand what's the process. We have learned the process. We were sitting there, sending people and learning the process. And we actually analyzed bottlenecks of the process. The process was divided into the CAD and the CAM, which at the end of the day, it's one process. And the target for them